2019 summer, and I get a phone call from a lady, and she's like, hey, my husband Tim is one of your regulars, and he's having some medical issues. Don't serve him any food because we don't know what's wrong with him. And then in December, they came out of the Canadian Tire store and he looked like crap. And we just started talking, and they had just found out within an hour that he had to have a transplant.
When we first talked to the doctor said, oh, you're gonna need a kidney transplant, but within like 8 to 10 years. 6 months, I went to go see them. They're like, oh, you're dropping really fast. So we need to start figuring out what we're gonna do with you. So that's when I had to go on dialysis, and yeah.
The amount of people that are out there that need this service, that they need people to donate is, there's thousands of people just in BC alone. And then you go through all the other provinces and you look at the rest of the world, and it's an easy process, When I called him from the restaurant saying, hey, I'm a universal donor, do you want to see if we can make this work? He was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was an amazing support of the community, of people helping out to get Tim on the table. The last few weeks of me being open were the busiest weeks ever. I probably did the equivalent of 3 months of work in the last 2 weeks of sales. And then Tim's wife started a GoFundMe. I got lucky because I lived within a half hour to an hour drive of Vancouver, but there's people that live in Salmon Arm, that live over on the island, that are willing to do it. But then you look at, $300 in ferry rides and gas, you're looking at hotels, you're looking at food, you're looking at time off of work. All of those things, it just skyrockets so quickly. And that's where people drop out, and that's how people are dying not being able to find a donor. Having the Kidney Foundation out there to help the donors with these hardships is what is needed. The morning after the operation, Dr. Chris came in, and I said, okay, when do I get to see Tim? And they're like, well, normally we don't like the patients to go and see. I said, well, I know he's on the floor. I'm just gonna go for a walk then. And I walked into his room, and I asked him, I said, apart from being bruised up and a little bit banged up from being chopped up, how do you feel not being on dialysis? And he didn't say anything. He just looked at me with this crazy smile, and he had tears running down the side of his face. I'll never forget it. It was one of the craziest, coolest moments in my life.